crew and shit and go. So it's good. It's all good.
So
I don't have any fast street cars at all. Go ahead.
So how long did you drive a A-Fuel car for, Dave?
Well, I drove 4 solid years competing in NHRA Division 3 and then the local national races that were around here, because you got to compete in the division races to get points to even qualify to go to the national races. So I did 4 years, and after the 4 years, the thrill's gone because my guy wasn't gonna. I got to be careful, but he just wasn't gonna listen and make the car run the way it could run, in my opinion. And I was the one spending all the money, and I got tired of it. And this is, and I want to be careful about this, but this is where I have to be careful. This is an ego thing. I want to drive so bad, even though I know I'm going to go there and I'm going to qualify. I'm probably going to lose first round, but I want to go there to be part of it again, because you miss the feeling, you miss the camaraderie. Even though you're not the fastest car, you still have the opportunity to win, but so here you are getting ready to dump $4,000 or $5,000 in a car to go for one weekend and like 3 or 4 hits on the track. So you just have to stop and go, what am I doing here? And that's what I did. And I saved that money for a few years, and actually, he ended up buying me out. But I put that money into the blue car for Ryan. So that's essentially where the money came from. I was saving money to put in the nitro car, and finally just said, you know what, I'm done spending money because I want to go out and put a show on it and go fast, And it was still 270, 65-mile car, which is incredible. But, you just, okay, I got to stop it. And I was excited about the possibility of putting something together with Ryan. And the blue car was the first car that I ever completely put the fuel system in myself and designed, the way the routing, the fuel system, the numbers. I mean, Mick Schneider and his dad, Larry, sort of give me the fuel arrangement, the nozzles, and then from there, I tuned it, and so I was excited at my first go of tuning my own deal, even though I thought I knew a lot. Well, I was far from knowing the tip of the iceberg, but I needed to go through those steps to go to the next level, and Ryan needed to progress as a driver and drive different aspects of the car, because I would overpower the track for him, and he'd have to drive it, or be underpower and shake the tires. These are things we learned together, and he was patient with me, and he chewed my butt a few times because I needed it. And those are things that that needed to happen from the tuning aspect. You know what I mean? The learning to tune a car. Because as a crew member, you go, if it's mine, I'd do this, or I'd do that, and I'd do this. And now I'm on the other side. I'm calling the shots. I'm not just listening to the guy calling the shots. So, man, it's a different world when you're calling the shots yourself, and there's 10 guys standing around waiting to hear what you're going to do with the car. And so it's a whole nother level of oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be intimidating but fun, but still you're there. You've got to do it. You got to rise to the occasion, and you don't always make the right decision. You think you are, and you do, and then something happens or it doesn't, or it runs great, and you go, wow, that's all I needed to do. So it's the ever evolving thought process of air, fuel mixture, and horsepower. It's just that's what it is.
So when you were driving A-Fuel, what were you running on 95% nitro?
Well, see, that was the thing that screwed me basically. No, they switched from 96 to 94, went to 94%, and then after the first year, they put a rule on the temperature. It's 40 degrees, and it couldn't be any cooler than 40 degrees. They made us take all our insulation out the fuel tanks because the blown guys were getting outrun. I mean, I'd have a guy leave me with a blown alcohol motor. He'd be ahead of me at half track, and then the clutch would lock up with this thing at half track, and I just mowed it. Because the horsepower on 96% is unbelievable. So I run IHRA nitro jams for 2 or 3 of those years around the country when IHRA was run, and they're still running 96%. But when we went to 94%, of course, that's only 2%. It doesn't sound like much, but it's huge when you don't have a blower on top. It's huge because you're still relying on the extra nitrogen and stuff that's in the molecular breakdown of the nitro. Well, you got 2% less. So, it took a few years for the guys to come out with heads and and to make up the volume of fuel. So we had to increase the compression ratios and the volume of fuel to get the power from the 94% back up. And then they went back to 95. So it was 94 when I started in 08. And now I think they're 95 now, I believe.
Yeah. I had a few A fuel drivers on. They said they're at 95.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's huge. It really is huge. I mean, but they've got it figured out, with the head design now and the compression ratios are, oh man, so much more than they were at 96 because you had the nitro volume at 2% more made up for, 4 or 5 points of compression. By far, it made it up. So, but these guys got it figured out now. Even the mile per hour is just crazy compared to what it. I mean, on 96%. We were running that fast. Now they're running on 94, 95%. They're running faster than what we ran. So they got to, once again, you give a guy a challenge, man. They're going to do it, right? Build something.
So now,
I love it. I still love it. I still like,
So now, being that you live out there in Indiana, Dave, do you know the Harada family?
Yeah, actually, some great friends of mine too. I helped them a little bit. I crewed them a little bit. Actually, I sat down with David Kenny one year, and we were right on the edge of putting a contract together for me to drive one season. I knew I wouldn't have all the money, so I didn't hang it out there for him to shake my stick at him and go, yeah, I almost drove it, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, we down all the time, and I bought fuel from them, and we bought stuff together, and so yeah, I know those guys pretty good.
Yeah, I had their
over there.
I had their current driver did an interview with me, Will Smith.
Yeah, he's cool, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, guys like you gotta be. If you're that guy, you gotta be, because people, back to the saying, people look up to you. So you want to be a good guy. I mean, I've only talked to him a few times. I mean, I don't know him other than just talked to him at track a couple times. So he seemed like a pretty good guy, though. Ryan says he's a good guy. So in the interview, you seemed like he was a good guy.
Oh yeah, real cool.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. I mean, that's what you want. You want that kind of guy, because the racers and people, spectators that follow you, they want you. They want to meet this guy, man. And it's you want to be that guy. Try to be their hero in some sense, if you will. Yeah. So it was fun when I was running, because when I was running all the Division III stuff, of course, Dave was still driving, and it was competing against them all the time. I mean, that's what it's all about, So it was awesome to be out there with those guys, and in a way, I've got a small part of history, even if it's in my own mind. I ran with these guys back then. I did okay in the points each year. I mean, I was mid-packing the points and stuff, and we did okay, So in my own little mind, I got kind of that little, I don't want to brag. It's nothing to brag about. It's just that, I was with you guys at one point, and it's kind of a good feeling, because I wasn't like top fuel guy or nothing like that, but just to be with those guys and run with those, because Division III is the fastest in the country. I mean, I will tell you, between sportsman cars all the way, the division cars, these are among the fastest and the most competitive guys when it comes to alcohol, and even the top sportsman cars. So very fierce division, very different in the bracket guys. These guys are serious, man. And so it's like, why couldn't I be in a division where they'd be slower and I could win? You don't want that. You want to try to rise to their occasion and compete with the fastest in the country. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to be a part of that on that level if you can. That's the game. The guys that have it figured out, you envy them and you chase them and yeehaw them and go home.
So now, when you start fuel altered car, do you have any idea who's going to be your crew for that car yet?
I've got a buddy of mine that helped us with. Actually, we wouldn't have had the Judy out if it weren't for Dave Moldenhauer. I'm not a TIG welder. I weld other stuff, but you gotta know what you're doing with TIG welders. And Dave, he's retired. He's at home and he builds chassis and all kinds of things. He was the one who came over and finished the build of our. We basically took a nitrous motor out and put a blown Hemi in it. So there's a lot of bars that had to be. He built the wheelie bars. He he did a lot of the chassis work that would have cost me an arm and a leg, and time. And he took it to his place, and he basically finished the car for us. And so he was phenomenal in getting it done. And we've had a lot of guys come through. We've had Kyle. Kyle works for it's Kyle Schrader, who works for Coletta now. He crewed with us for a while. He went. He was going to ONH, the drag racing school over in Ohio. He was going there, and he called me up and said, "Hey, could you use a crew, man?" And he told me what he wanted to do, and I said, "Yeah, sure." And it took him a couple seasons with us and a few other people, and he got a job with Coletta's team. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, we've got just some like my buddy Rick Kraft. He's he's always my mentor. He's up to who is incredibly smart. He's been drag racing since he was 18 years old. So has been to hell and back on fire in cars and just speed and just he's always taught me what both good and bad things and what to do and not to do. So we've got this miscellaneous crew that have come and gone, between just a single race to a season. But those guys are probably the most I don't know, the ones that are involved and still involved. Now next year, I've got a couple guys that I've been talking to, and Dave is number one on my list. I think Ryan will help some too if he's not busy running the other cars or drive. He's hoping to drive Chris Duncan's cars as well. I mean, they've got what they call a shop car. It's that C7 Corvette with a screw on it. He's hoping to drive that, but I've got a few guys lined up, but I want to be sure. See, I'm not the guy that says, "Yo, dude, I'm going to have a car out, man. You got to come help me." No, I'm going to make sure I'm going to have it out, and we're going to be ready between parts, and it's really going to be out there, and it's going to look good, and it's going to run, or I'm not going. And so that's my mentality now: is the right people, all that stuff. I just got to make sure it's right, and before I go, because I don't want to get out there and hurt it. I want to go out and be successful, even if it's not the fastest. I make laps, I blow up, I'm making progress, and we make it down the track, and we come home with some satisfaction and go yippee-ki-yay for the next time.
Yeah, I had Rick Kraft on the air for an interview before.
Yeah, oh yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a world of knowledge, man. I love listening to because I wasn't in drag racing when I was, like hillbilly drag racing in Tennessee, but, since he was in high school, so here in the Midwest. So his stories and stuff just amazes me because, that was back before, you knew that part was going to fail and they built one that wouldn't fail. So you're on the edge of crashing all the time with stuff back there. Every part wasn't made for the right thing. So I love hearing his stories and stuff, and a lot of the people he talks about, I've got to meet some of them, and I go, "Oh yeah, he told me about you," and I kind of giggle and remember stories about people, and just that's as involved as I can be about history when I wasn't here, So it's pretty awesome. But it's pretty awesome, yeah. So I always like Ricky. He's when I'm in trouble, I call him. Give me some advice or slap me around, straighten me out, stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a buddy out here in Illinois. He just purchased Aka Funny Car recently. Rick's been coming out and helping him a lot.
Oh,
Jimmy Montgomery.
Montgomery?
Yep.
Jimmy's car?
Yeah.
Jimmy asked me to come up, and I hadn't been able to go, man. Yeah, he's close to getting that thing ready to go.
Yeah.
From what Jimmy tells me, I talked to him the other day on Messenger, and he's like, "We're almost ready." He's posting pictures. He's excited. You can see. That's I do want to go whenever they take it out. I thought aren't they close? Like really close? Next week or the week after or something like that?
Yeah, they should be. He took it to the Great Lakes Dragway just to show it over there for the Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
They had it
I gotta call Ricky.
Yeah, they had displayed in the pit area.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see pictures of that now. Now that you mention that, yeah, I see pictures of it there. And that's when Jimmy told me she's close. Now that'll be exciting. I can speak to him. She's really excited. Now that guy is a devoted, spectating racer guy. I mean, he's one of those guys that is involved on the spectator level and a team level for years. So he's got something that's his own. He's like I would be, man. He's excited, So that'll be. I love stuff like that. To hear stuff like that, just to go watch and check it out, see the excitement in the guys, man. Because I don't know, it's weird how it's your baby you've been working on for years, and now you want to take the baby out and show them off, and it's part of the deal,
So now, Dave,
I look forward to seeing it.
So let me ask you this, Dave. When you first, started watching drag racing, say go on the Great Lakes Dragway and on Broadway, Bob used to put on shows. Were there any drivers that inspired you back then?
Not that I remember, only because I so far from ever thinking that I would actually even own a drag car, because that was when we were, I got married and had kids, and we had started a business, and all I did was work, and the excitement was once in a while going to the track. So, no, I really don't remember any names offhand. I remember going watching the wacky shows. So, no, not really. So I'd go watch the shows, and it was amazing to me, and we'd go home, and I'd just work again. So for like 10 solid years, man, did nothing but work. It was about the end of me for a while. That's why I bought the streetcar, honest to God. I bought a streetcar. I got to do something. Bought a streetcar, ripped the engine out, built the engine, went to street racing. I mean, I was going nuts working so much, It's crazy. So no, I don't remember anybody. I know it sounds silly. Everybody's got somebody they look up to. But when I first met Ricky, honest to God, I could tell he was as smart as a whip. But he built his own car, man, and fires that sucker up and does 200 the first lap. Like it ever went down the track, 200 miles an hour. That I got respect for that guy. Either that or he's nuts. You know what I mean? But really, he's that smart of a guy, and he was confident. See, I wasn't. So this teaches you so many lessons about this sport, and just, who you surround yourself with and learn from and things like that. But so it would probably be Ricky as far as, starting in 2000. But before that, me and my dad used to street race, and he'd tell me stories about his stuff. I always wanted to, that's why I was street racing in high school, because nobody let my dad,
Okay.
It's just silly stuff, but you grow up doing stuff, and you are who you are, You develop a change, hopefully, right?
Okay, so if I would ask you who do you look up to currently for a driver, you would say Rick Kraft.
Probably so, yeah, because he's got I can't forget more. He's driven so much and done so much. Like, I'll think of a situation or a tune or a part or something, and I'll say, hey, what do you think of this? And he'll pause for sometimes 10, 15, 20 seconds. And he'll come back with something totally unrelated to what I just gave him. A whole different aspect to the same thing, but from a different aspect completely. Well, holy cow. Oh, my God. So, changes your thought process. It makes you think about things in different ways. When I first started driving in his car, he tested me. He made me put the suit on, and I had a big old ugly 3-layer suit, and he put me in the funny car. And he came up to my house and sat down and had supper with my wife while I was locked in the funny car for 45 minutes. He said, if you can't take 45 minutes in this cocoon, you'll never be a driver. And he come up and had supper with my wife while I was down here sweating my balls off, And that's a lesson. He's teaching me a lesson. He's going to make sure that I'm competent enough to drive something and have passed all the difficulties to get to this level. Because if you can't get past the uncomfortableness of being strapped into one of these things, you're done before you start. So things like that, he's always known for, teaches me a lesson. And I know that he enjoys it most of the time because he sees the little light bulb go off in my head, and I learn from it. So that's nice that he's my friend, and I can use information from him that he's willing to help me and teach me, and things like that. So yeah, he'd be that guy. I mean, and Dave is Dave's like my best friend too, because we just share so much together. Man, we've grown so far since Dave started helping us with the blue car, and we've crewed together recently. And I've got a very short group of really, really close friends that I look up to. And I have respect for a lot of people out there, but that are close to me, and I can share my emotions and thoughts with her. Something else, really call your best friend kind of thing, and look up to. So it'd be Moldenhauer and then Kraft for sure.
So what's going on with Rick and that Invader funny car? Has he been running that thing this year?
No, they were supposed to take it out. He went out once. I think maybe it was when it broke the rear end. He only made one weekend it this year, and I know they were supposed to take it back out, but I know that the car owner's not been. His health is not too good, but the crew was going to come together and take it. And I don't know if Ricky's been extremely busy. He's got a couple of projects going on that have engulfed him. So he used to come over all the time, and then he's just so busy now that it's difficult. So every now and then we'll chat. I try to get caught up on stuff, and he tries to catch up me. But I'm not sure if he made it out this year or not to drive it a second time. I know he went once earlier in the season. So no, I know he's helping Jimmy. He's actually working with Hoosier, too, John Hoosier.
Yeah.
He got the Ram Chargers car. I know he's been over to John's a few times, too, and they're talking about putting that thing back together, finishing it and taking it out. So I know he's got his hands full with a couple of things going on. And so I'm not sure where he's at driving right now or what's going on with him, We used to talk more. He's just been busy this summer. It's been a real tough summer.
So now, for you, when you're out on the track, Dave, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions out there?
I do the usual walk around the car, but for the most part, I try to get my mind right. There's a small ritual where I get ready, but what I do is I go for just a moment of, believe it or not, silence, and that's hard to find at the track. But whether you go in your motorhome or you go somewhere and you sit and quiet and you just calm yourself down. Deep breaths. It's kind of like you're zen just for a few minutes. You need to relax and you need to get your mind straight. And I think that it starts to prepare you for being confident and ready when you need to be. If you're wound tight and you had 10 cups of coffee and you're not going to do well. You're going to make not rash decisions. You're going to react incorrectly. You got to, believe it or not, you got to be calm. So yeah, I don't have some ritual where I'm in the corner with my yoga teacher and we're over there stretching and stuff like that. But I try to stay calm, but yet it show confidence to the guys and stuff like that. But that is a big part of it for me. And then with tuning the car and driving, it is a lot more difficult than people think. It can't be a big deal. You make a couple of changes, you go drive. Well, no, the whole time you're in the car, you're questioning. Man, should I have done that? Should I have done that? Ooh, should I tweak that? You should be thinking about driving, not tuning. So that's tough. So it's nice when you can just drive. The crew and the crew chief give you a car to drive. Your job is to drive it. So your rituals are to stay calm. You go through the steps because there's really so many multiple steps. Just starting the car, then you roll up, you do your burnout. Burnout is a step, come to a stop. You have to, shift gears, hit buttons, levers, reverse, you back up. So there's so many levels to it. And then that's just doing the staging. And then when the lights turn green, now you're a driver. And you have to switch from that to the driver aspect. So you don't want to have any of this other thoughts in your head if you can't. You want to be driving. And by staying calm and going through your rituals. So no, I don't have the talk to sweet to it and rub it and nothing like that. But I do have that ritual in my own mind where I have to calm myself down and get a grip on it because you're getting ready to go super fast and you could die. So you need to get a grip, right?
Now, throughout your drag racing career, have you reached any milestones?
Well, personal ones, of course, but I'm nowhere near anybody's record. Well, actually, unless Keith went faster, when I was testing the O's last year, well, it was 2018. I was testing the O's. On Fridays there's the big race. First Friday of every month is the Run What You Brung race, right? So I was going up Thursday and testing for him, and we were going to run Friday. Well, it rained out like 2 or 3 Fridays in a row. But I believe unless something's happened, I still have the unofficial track record for Milan in that car. It's 363.9 at 207. Oh, 205. I'm sorry, 205. I went slower ET, but I went faster mile per hour on a different pass. But literally by a foul, because 364 was the record before that. So I went 360, 39, and Keith was ready to tune this thing in the 50s. Like him and I were talking. He said, "No, it's going to go 50." And then unfortunately, the weather, we didn't get to run on Friday, so I was pumped because this thing run. The mile per hour record it's the fastest mile per hour and the fastest ET. So you don't hear anybody talk about it. It's really not my record. I just hit the pedal. It's Keith's car and Keith's record because he tuned it. But I just happen to be the guy sitting and hitting the pedal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a milestone for me. It really is. I mean, I've driven now the A-Fuel car. I've been 355, 225 the half track, but that's the nitro car. It's not an alcohol car with 5-speed. So it's a different animal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But still, those are personal milestones because there's other guys out there been faster than that. But personally, those are some unbelievable milestones for me. I would have never thought years ago that I would ever be doing it and be able to accomplish those things and have the opportunity to drive, for instance, like for Keith. I mean, so those things for me I'll be forever thankful. That's just all there is to say, really. So those are the milestones, really. I mean, there's no records I set with the A-Fuel car for sure. It's fast, but I'm far from being anywhere near. It's fast for me. It's fast because I never driven anything faster. But for other people that are out there now, they're way past me. But still, it's unbelievable. It's just exhilarating. Yeah. You get out of one of those cars, man, and you're shaking, and the hair's standing up, and you got goosebumps, and the adrenaline is just pumping, man. It's just flowing, and that's a good, that's the feeling you like, I guess. Right? Exhilarating. Yeehaw.
Now, as far as drag racing goes, do you have anything like on a bucket list that you'd still like to do in the sport of drag racing?
I have some. I guess if money holds out and the A-Fuel car, I mean the altered is we've put it together correctly and wings are correct and the aerodynamics of it's correct and I want to run some really fast numbers. I don't know if I'll ever come close to any record because it takes a lot of money to go fast. That's just all. When you reach a certain point, the parts they eat up are pretty substantial. So you get to a point where I can run comfortable here and it's only a couple thousand a weekend, or I can run this and it's like 1,000 a run. So you really have to either have the budget for it. But yeah, I want to run some low fives again in an open. Because like the dragster is an open cockpit, right? You're not enclosed like you are a door car, so you feel the air and the wind and everything else that comes in the cockpit. But so I want to feel that in the altered. An A-Fuel car, the engine's behind you. See, this thing is in front of you. So some people would say you got bigger balls than having an engine in front of you. It's a kind of a driver's joke. Like, real men have the engine in front of you. And might be some truth to that. Just because when it blows up, you're getting ready to wear it. You know what I mean? So I want the A-Fuel car. I mean, I'm sorry. The altered is kind of like my dream car in a sense. It's probably going to be the last car that I build. I like to drive for sure. I'll drive and team up with people, but the altered is what I want as it's my fun toy. I might take it out a couple times a year, try to match race, have fun, and just be part of the group again. Maybe I don't go fast. It's okay, but I'm out there and I'm still enjoying the sport of drag racing. And doesn't mean I'll go fast. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm past that point of thinking that I'm going to be, John Force or something like that. I don't need to be that guy. I'm just going to be me, and then all my friends and people that know me will come out and have a good time. That sounds crazy, but.
Now, are you looking to put a big fuel pump on there or just standard Heritage fuel pump?
Oh, no. It's going to be big mag, big fuel pump and big blower. So it's not going to be a big show pump size, but it's going to be pretty big. And I like the big header flames too. So that, a lot of people say it's not wasted fuel, but it makes for a good show. You just change the cam timing a little bit, and we got big header flames and and you still run fast. So the extra fuel pump you're really not using, but it's there in case you want to use it. So it's going to be another test of my abilities to tune and learn on the fuel side, you know what I mean? The nitro side versus the alcohol side. So I've actually been talking to Jake Sanders. He's been pretty awesome at give me a little direction, and I've asked him to help me with tune-ups and stuff like that. We're in conversations about that now, and
yeah,
I think that
he's been doing a great job with Alan Middendorf, the American Outlaw.
Yeah, that thing is crazy, man. It's got the 8th mile record for mile per hour and speed and ET. Holy shit! Yeah, and I thought that I was a badass, and I've been faster than an 8 fuel car, and he blows by that number like it was nothing. Dang. Okay, can't even say I'm faster than him. It's kind of fun. Yeah, he's got that thing figured out, and he's got it simplified. It's simplified in the aspect of not hundreds of timers and valves and twist this knob and turn that. He's been at it a long time with his dad's car, and I look up to him as well. He's got it figured out. He's got a good thing going, man, and I'm slowly getting to know him, and he seems pretty cool. And I hope that we can continue on. And I have to be the guy to listen to him and let him give me direction on this thing. That's why I went to him, is because I don't want to second guess what I'm doing. I want to have someone help me and show me and hit the ground running within a certain baseline tune-up and be able to slowly tune from there and not guess. I don't want to guess. I want to have some success, and it's going to cost a little bit, but I think Jake's the guy to give me some direction and point me in the right way, I think so. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I see what he does with Middendorf's car, and it's there. I mean, I won't have a fuel pump as big as his. I don't have that kind of money, but I'll be right behind it. We'll make it economical, and it'll still run.
Still there? Hello? Says I'm still on the phone with him, but I don't hear him. Dave? Hello? Let me call him back again. Dave? Hold on, everybody.
Hello, you have reached Electromechanical Service.
Let's try again. Hold on, everybody.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I tried to answer, man. We got another storm coming through, so I must have lost it because of the storm.
Yeah.
I seen you call back, but I couldn't. It wouldn't let me get through.
Yeah.
You were there, but you weren't.
Yeah, it said we were still connected, but I heard blank nothing, dead air.
Well, I could hear you. You said, I'm still connected. I just can't hear him. But then it hung up. It's a storm, man. It's a storm, but I appreciate you calling me back.
So what are some of your favorite tracks to run on?
Oh, man. US 131 is by far my favorite. I mean, we spent so many. We had a difficult time when Ryan was running the juniors with running Joliet because some of the people and they were a little rough on the kid. He's an Indian kind of kid. Hey, we got to beat up on the kid a little bit. And I got upset and I just said screw it. And we went over to Michigan and the learning curve the Michigan racers gave us was phenomenal because I needed the learning curve and I did. I got a learning curve. They whooped our ass for most of the first summer there. And we made great friends, and I had to learn how to, make the juniors run and learn. I learned a lot. Anyway, we just loved racing in Michigan so much that we raced Michigan more than any other area and made most of our friends there. So 131 is probably our favorite track for sure. I mean, we went to 41 when we were younger just because it was our test track. From there, of course, like everybody loves 66, but it's not necessarily a family track. I mean, if you want a good track conditions, yeah, you go there. I mean, if you get a high horsepower car and you test, you go there. You go to 131 or, it's good. But 131 is my favorite track. every year they find NHRA, and he's like, not going to do it. That's from what I hear, he's not going to do it. So he's still IHRA, and then at Track Thunders, and it's the good people, and the track manager's awesome. I mean, because we ran juniors there, and his kid now is running juniors, and it's kind of cool, stuff like that. Have you been there? You ever been to 131?
No, not yet.
It's similar to 66, but you won't find the giant grandstands like you have at 66, and I think that it makes for a much smaller, more quaint, local, closer to the racers, closer to the track. And there's always a good show there. I mean, Jason and Stephanie put on a good show. They've been managing tracks for since it was bought and it's been 15 years since it's been remodeled, I think. So I don't know. There's some good shows up there. They put on good shows, and I just, once again, you go there because you know it's going to be good, and there's good people, and they have events every year that event every year, so you can look forward to going to this event next year because you know he's going to be there. You know you're going to see people, and so it's back to that again. Just the awesomeness of seeing people, and now we see, of course, the kids that have grown up and are now either married or moved on, or they do something else, or so still racing. But yeah, it's 131 for sure. That's still our favorite. I mean, we've been to a lot of tracks around the country. Most of them to just watch. For a while we were trying to do one a year.
I think we lost him again. Oh, I think I gotta call him back again. Hold on. Alright, let's see what happened.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm standing in the same spot, man. I promise I am.
Yeah, I got the dead air again.
Dude, I just keep rambling on. I don't hear you for a second, so I wait, and then you say, I can't hear him again.
All right, so
it must be the storm coming through, man.
So Martin, Michigan's your favorite track?
Yeah, 131 is my favorite track, absolutely.
The fastest track in Michigan.
What's that?
Fastest track in Michigan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, Miles is a good track. Miles used to run Division 3 there. I mean, the alcohol funny cars, and I remember running Ricky there back in 2000, 2001. That was a big deal back then. So they were running those cars at that track back then. So it's a good track too, and they put on a good show. I mean, it's fun. The people there, like I said, are great too. I mean, it's like a party in the pits, man. There, so it's fun to go there. You just bring a case of beer and you have a good time, But yeah, I like that track too. There's several tracks I like, but just competed the most at 131, and so we've had that level of fun there, but mostly memories with the families and kids and junior racing, and then I ran the Nitro Jams there with the A-Fuel car, and so there's a lot for us there as a family that makes us like that track the most.
All right, so what's been your most embarrassing moment on the track?
Probably when I was driving Anthony DeCero's A-Fuel car in Indy. He fired it up, and I had driven it the year before, and once again, honored to drive it. He's a good teacher. He's got a lot of sensors on it. He can tell you exactly what you're doing as a driver, and he asks you why you're doing that. And I look at him like, how do you know I was doing that? But we started up and was rolling up to do the burnout, and I moved my knee off the clutch and hit the shutdown lever, and it popped the chutes and shut the engine down, rolling up to the burnout box.
Wow.
Felt like a dumbass. Yeah, felt like a dumbass. That was, you're done. Roll it back and wait till the next qualifying session. So I felt just like an idiot, of course. But things happen. You have to watch out. Every little thing you do could be something. So you don't just. I just gently moved my knee off the clutch to roll the car, and took it back too far and tripped the switch. All there was to it. So another learning curve. I mean, I've had things happen in cars that I won't dare tell anybody because
Yeah. So, what would you consider to be the fondest memory of your drag racing career? I think we lost him again. We're almost done with this interview, too. Darn it. Let me call him back again.
Sorry, guys, I'm literally standing in the same spot.
It's okay.
So I'll tell you this real quick. I was driving in it was '09. I actually had it was a qualifying session in Norwalk. I was lined up against Dave Harada, and luckily that was one of the times that Dave launched and smoked the tires, because at half track at about 200 miles an hour, the rear wing broke off of the dragster, and it caused me to it went to tire shake, and it caused me to abruptly switch lanes. So when I finally gained some sight, all I saw was white, which means I was in Dave's lane headed toward the wall. So I crossed the center line at 200 and managed to just whip it to the left and straighten it out and get down to the other end. And I'm just like all shook up because I got no idea. Dave runs down and hugs me like, "Man, you all right?" And I was in shock and didn't even know it, that I just could have died there, so that's, I've got, you got fond memories, but those are the memories that really, you look back at and you go, wow, okay, these things could happen. Don't take nothing for granted. But I got so emotional afterwards because everybody come up asking how I was doing, and you done racing now? You scared? It was all these questions that people ask you after you almost crash, And so that's a very fond memory. I've got a lot of memories of being in a car and racing and my crew and things like that, but I never really set any big records or nothing. I never shook the world, I definitely got round wins against, other drivers and stuff, but those drivers have went on to do much more than I have, so I'm not going to say that, they're not fond or whatever, but as important as, I guess, like the lessons of losing your rear wing, the lesson is you should look your car over really well and bolts and things like that, but that's probably my fondest memory.
Awesome. Well, Dave, I want to thank you very much for taking all this time tonight to do this interview.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity, man. I didn't realize that we were on that long.
Yeah, we did almost an hour and a half now.
My gosh, dude. I figured you'd shut me up by now. You see me go. Sorry, man.
No problem. So,
all right, well, thanks a lot, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I appreciate you.
You have any final words, thank yous you want to do before we close?
Just I thank you. You give me the opportunity to run my mouth like this, Usually my wife's slapping me around by now, going, "Would you just shut up?" So no, I appreciate it. We cover a lot of ground. I thank a lot of people during the process, and that's what it is. But thanks a lot, yeah.
No problem. We'll do another one in the future when you get that get that altered going. We'll do another interview.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. If I see you, waste time with your track or something. I want it. If you're gonna be on track together somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Dave.
Yep. Take care, buddy. Thanks a lot for having me on.
You have a great night and a great weekend.
Yeah. You too, buddy.
Bye-bye.